Welcome right back to the CRL Podcast. I'm your host, Heathen, as always, and I'm alongside Three Flashes.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to say you didn't say anything. Um, Today we have not only, sponsored by. I keep forgetting to do this. I do it mid-podcast. Sponsored by Northeast Texas Storm Chasers.
Northeast Texas Storm Chasers is a small group made up of 5 chasers throughout the Northeast Texas region. Cover any and all severe weather events that affect their area, no matter if they are out in the field or behind a phone on the couch. You can guarantee that this group keep you and your family safe and prepared for all modes of severe weather. For more info and or questions, please visit their Facebook page, Northeast Texas Storm Changers, and be sure to click that like button. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
Speaking of that, though, we actually have the owner, one of the owners, right, of it?
The only owner.
Okay, the only owner, actually.
The
owner of that Storm Chasing group. On the podcast list tonight, he was nice enough to come on tonight and gonna talk about some NASCAR stuff, and then he's gonna talk about some Storm Chasing stuff, since, I'm hell interested in that. And we also have Kiss the Fox one, he'll be on later. Oh, as people know him as Sean over in the community page. He'll be on later in the podcast. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna call you Storm because I don't feel like calling you Alex.
Fine.
So how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Just exhausted after this Talladega race that we had going on tonight, but just got points done for it, so I'm good.
I feel you in that long
Had
ass
to have
Talladega
a
races.
soda. Yeah, I had to have a soda in order to keep me awake for this.
I feel that.
I'm having one
You
right
said
now
you
to keep
run-
myself awake too.
I'm drinking Do USA. They came out in PA, so I get to have them now. I bought like 50 bottles of them last 2 days, so. But yeah, you you're supposed to come on last week actually, but you had storms in your area, and you went to
Yes.
chase them.
Yep.
Because it was DB last week, and then we were gonna have you on after him or before him, whatever. And then, you text me literally, I think the day or day before. It was like, so I can't. Because I knew there were storms down that area, but I didn't know how bad they were. So I was like, okay, maybe. I think I told Fox there's a possibility he won't make it this week. I was like, so we have to have a backup plan. Our backup plan was nobody. We just let DB talk for like 4 hours.
God damn it.
It was a nice podcast though. He did a race actually on Thursday, league versus a team challenge, whatever the hell it's called. I think it's team challenge. So one shout out to you for that. But you are the owner of Under the Lights, correct?
Yes. Under the Lights Racing.
And which we have
Like
heard
that.
by the way before.
Yeah.
Because when I told you, you're like, how did you hear of us? I'm like, well, it's rock mainly.
Pretty much.
That, and there's a lot of people that I know that race in like 50 different damn leagues that have raced in there at least once.
Only 50 can't be JP's record.
Well,
97.
97
I will
leagues.
say, we've transformed like 3 or 4 different times. People know us from our worst times back when we started out our very first season of Dr. Pepper Cup Series. Then we expanded to Xfinity Trucks, and we became SMBRL, Shake and Bake Racing League. But then we got we got thrown in the trash because everybody was saying that we were the worst Shake and Bake, and that we don't deserve to have the Shake and Bake name because Frozen Toes owns that. And I talked to Frozen Toes, and she said it was totally fine. She didn't care. But we were just kind of thrown under the bus and said that we were the worst league to ever exist because of that. So we went through a transformation. And yeah, that's for the community too. So we went through a transformation, new guys, new era, and we became what we are known right now as Under the Lights Racing.
Well, I do know you said about the community basically being dickheads. It's pretty much what you just said. They have actually, ever since Rock took over, Rock and now Sean, who we'll talk to later, obviously, took over that community page, whatever. There's been so much more positivity in this community.
Oh, no
Absolutely.
doubt.
From
that
Heat,
has been a big
from
change.
Heat 2 till Heat 3 in the beginning, in Star 4, there was nobody that was nice in the community. It was rarely people were nice in the community. Like no one offered help really. And if they did, they didn't give you any actual like helpful information. But now it's like you ask for help at all, and people will actually help you.
Yeah, it's been a big part of what this podcast has kind of turned into, just talking about the changes from that and just your story with that, like, you know, where you came from and all that you had to go through, you know, hearing that from the community to where I think now, where the community stands, it's in a different spot. So, you know, it's nice that, you know, you've got your own, you know, your own name for yourself now, and it's the community's more accepting, and I just love to see that. That's I've talked about a lot on these, as I said. I mean, it's kind of like I said, what this podcast has turned into. But yeah, absolutely. It's
Well, I love it because the fact that every time I go live on Twitch, I always get. Usually, I'm not well known with my POVs, so usually I get like one person to watch. And I know who that one person is every single time. It's Rock.
Rock NASCAR.
So I know I can depend on him to watch my streams. And it was actually funny. Our truck race Thursday night. I don't know how he got miscommunicated, but he put it out there of who won at Eldora, and it was the wrong person. I was like, Rock, this is actually just the person who actually won the race. I don't know where you got that from. He's like, oh shit, let me fix that. So,
Yeah.
and you said
last
one,
night-
not 2 laps down. So
Oh. Yeah, Rock slipped up last night and spelled my name wrong accidentally. I was like, Rock, it's H3, buddy. He's like, oh shit, my bad.
he's quick to fix that too.
Well, he is.
I mean,
he
as much
fixed
as
it in like
as
literally
much as he
not even 5
juggles,
minutes.
it's crazy how quick he is with
He has,
all that.
man, has like 50,000 computer monitors to watch these damn streams, and you know, without him, he says without us, there wouldn't be no community page. But without him watching our streams and supporting us, there would be none of this that we have.
I mean,
now.
I love his outlook on that though, because yeah, you got to have
Yeah.
people on it involved. But yes,
Yeah.
without him keeping
He's
that
the
together,
core.
yes,
He's
yes.
the core to everything. We're just like the branches and he's the roots. We're just like the tree that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We're the sprouts of everything. Yes, Flash. I know terminology, fucker.
Yeah, you're surprising me with all those terms.
I know.
Getting pretty
I know, man.
scientific.
I know. I have a question for you though. Storm.
yeah, go ahead.
So, I was told to ask more questions. I think it was Sunday afternoon. I was told to ask more questions because apparently I don't go in detail enough with these guests. Because I normally ask the exact same like 4 or 5 questions, whatever. And then we just like branched off to something that doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna start right now. I'm gonna start right now. Try at least to get more. I'm still gonna ask the first question I always ask, and that would be, where did you come from? Where did you get to start in Heat or racing in general? And then after that, I'll ask you more in-depth questions.
Yeah, basically, what was your first racing game that got you into racing?
If
games,
it's
I guess is the
09,
best way to put
that's
it.
like 50. That's been said.
Yeah.
Well, God, I did race a little bit of. I was born in 1999, and I did some racing on 04, but it wasn't any online racing. I didn't get my start in online racing until January of last year.
Okay.
The way I got brought in, though, was very unique. Without trying to go into a long story about it, short and sweet, I started out January 2020, and I was wanting to get into some online course. I was like, all right, new year, let's try something out. I got to online multiplayer, wanted to try some things out, so I did. And next thing I know, I'm into these public lobbies. I'm like, all right, these guys drive good. Well, now I look back on them, I'm like, no, they just drive like little dipshits. But
Mine
they
lobbies for
were
you.
right. But they were doing really good at first. So I was like, all right, you know what? And then I had this one guy reach out to me. I was like, hey, you want to join the league? I'm like, I have no idea what a league is, but sure, why not? He was starting up a league, and he was like, "Hey, I want you to be my admin." I'm like, "I have no idea what I'm getting myself into." Like, yes, I want to be an admin. Let's have at it. And I don't remember what his gamer tag was at the time or what it could be now. Because I give two shits about him now. He completely ruined me at first. But he started up this league, and I brought in a couple guys that I just randomly found, and now I'm best friends with them to this day. I still have members from my OG online days, and they support me. They've backed me up from day one. One of them now, I got help get started in F1 league, and now he's taken off with that. I've still got members from my OG days in my league as of now. But this one guy that invited me, he was the owner, and I was an admin. He literally, we had to do the Daytona 500 like 6 different times because we couldn't get it right. I asked him one day, I was like, "Hey, let's have a way to incorporate this type of rule," and he's like, "Yeah, that sounds good." Well, the dude was high off his ass, and he did not remember that I told him that, and so I released it out to all the drivers, like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do," and he comes back the next day, he's like, "Motherfucker, I did not tell you we would do that." I'm like, "Bitch, yes, you did." And he got pissed off, and he leaves his own league and drops
Sounds
everything
like someone else I
of this
know.
league. He dropped the entire league onto me. I was only about 3 weeks into anything of online racing at all. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't know. And with the support that I had to go through some up and downs because I had some other guys that said, well, since you don't know anything about how to run a league, I'll take over. I'm like, well, no, hold on. You're not an admin. You're just a racer. He put this on me, not in the right way, but he put it on me. So I'm the owner. You can hold your horses, and I'm going to take the reins. So I pulled off a miracle. Went through some rough ends. We went through like 4 or 5 different name changes of renaming that league, and then the guys ended up being little dipshits and taking over the league. So I converted about half of his group at the time, and I PM'd them. I was like, "Hey, y'all want to go off and start our own league?" And sure enough, we snuck away. I stole about half of that league's group away from them, and we started up our own league, and that's when we became the Dr. Pepper Cup Series. Later on, SWRL, that expanded into all 3 series now to Under the Lights Racing.
Oh, I thought my mic was muted. Like Flash's was, but yeah, I didn't. We had a similar situation that we can't really talk about right now, but where
It's a very similar situation, though.
the owner left. He didn't dump it on us though. He just left because he needed a quote-unquote break, and we said fuck that and just
Welcome to CRL.
made our own. Yeah, CRL. I mean, it's a lot less not aggressively, but it wasn't like thrown on you, which I would imagine that's a lot of stress on you.
Good things can happen when it comes to stuff like that. We wouldn't have probably ever had this podcast going if it wasn't for all of that went down.
I mean, we would have. This would have been CRL than PSES, realistically.
Yeah, but it would have been different. I mean, I think this is the best format possible that could have been. So.
We're 11 weeks into this podcast, and I still don't know what the fuck to do. All I do is run my mouth all the damn the whole podcast.
That's a podcast.
Okay. Really?
You ever listen to Joe Rogan?
No, I don't listen to podcasts. I'm on one. Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, we talked before we started recording this podcast, so I can't say I didn't know that you got dropped on, but from what the viewers know, I didn't know that about this information.
Yeah, 3 weeks into being brand spanking new to online racing, and I had a league dropped onto me that I had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I ran with it.
Sounds so. Yeah.
I have a
I mean,
question
but
though.
you're here
Speaking
today
of that,
talking to us. It must have worked out good for you.
how did you deal with the stress though? Because I'd imagine there'd be a lot of stress when it comes to that. I know when I'll go with the PSCS side of stuff. When we split off from Green Flag Racing, it was very stressful at the beginning. Flash wasn't here. Flash wasn't there for, so he doesn't have a single thing to talk about.
But I know about.
Yeah,
I
he
heard
was
enough
there.
about
Yeah,
I know enough about
it
what
was
went
very,
on.
very, very stressful at the beginning.
I was there a few weeks after all of it. That's about
Yeah.
about that time. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, and now it's one of the biggest custom leagues on Heat. So we have an
Yeah.
iRacing thing that's taking off.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It was really stressful. I mean, I've got guys now in the league that I kind of give them little secret information because they're very dedicated to the league, and so one of them is one of my newest moderators. So he knows every little detail, even though he's not an admin. He gets almost like the inside details, and he's like, "Dude, I can't even imagine being in your position, having to deal with all this nonsense." And I'm like, yeah, it's a lot more stress than what people really think. They think running a league is just so simple, and some people are like, oh, I could go off and run a league, and then they leave us. I'm like, well, have fun with that. And then I see them like 3 weeks later. I will say one name. I bet you everybody's going to know who I'm talking about, but Chase do now. Sarge Pepper. Yeah, he was one of my members. Of course, he got kicked, obviously, without a doubt, without reason. And he's like, "Oh, I can go start my own league," and yeah, he never did. So
Yeah, it's
that's true.
it's not easy, like you said. It's a lot of work. The best way to put it, easiest way to put it, I guess you say, is it's a lot of work. I mean, it's not just like that. You snap your fingers and you got 20 guys ready to race, and then you got to have your schedule figured out, your point system. If you're going to give out any prizes, what you do with that, week to week, advertising it.
on top of your personal life, and your personal work.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's just for that. I mean, yeah, not even like you just said to mention everything else that you have to deal with, and I mean that in itself takes hours out of every day if you're going to be running it. And as an admin, it takes at least an hour or two out of your day. I mean, that's
I spend
on
about
a good
half
day.
That's a lot. That's a lot to
On a
ask.
good day, it's an hour.
I spend about half of my day each day because I am dedicated fully to this league. We just got sponsored. I just spent probably about $700 on T-shirts for my guys, and so I am very dedicated to this league. I treat everybody like family, and
Yes,
if you're going, so that's how I roll. I mean, I spend about half my day each day, every day, about to the league.
Hell, I know, even with us, with us texting back and forth, you made me fucking feel like family. I didn't even know you at first. I posted a thing on the community page about possibly having a sponsor for the podcast, or whatever. Just get your name out there, whatever. And you messaged me, or told me to DM you. I did, and you instantly made me feel like family. So I definitely understand where, that is a total fact. What he just said, that's a fact. He makes everybody feel like family. Because he didn't know who the hell I was. He just knew I was a host of a podcast. That's all he fucking knew. That I'm an occasional esports driver. Well, actually, I'm full time, but I'm not I'm not a Dohar yet. Yet.
No, you talk way more than he does. So
Hey, but at least I can't say I'm fast. I'm not, but. Getting
hell
there.
no, but I mean, no, I'm just you run your
The
mouth
game,
for us, so.
the game doesn't pay me to race yet. They don't give me setups. Nah, I'm messing with them. Obviously, we love Dohar. Hopefully,
yeah.
he'll come on one day. I'm
yeah,
on it. I'm working on it right now.
on.
Actually, I've been working on it all week, getting him on. But so here's the more in-depth questions for you there.
Ooh, a tough one.
You want to hear how in-depth this is?
Bring it.
What's your favorite race to go to in real life, and then race in the game? And then what's your favorite moment from your Heat career and your favorite NASCAR memory?
Okay. If I can remember all 4 of those questions.
Flash, please
Favorite,
remember, 'cause I don't. I forgot the fuck I said already, so please remember them, Flash. I forgot.
so favorite track in real life.
To go to, yeah, or
Uh,
to go to, or I mean, I guess your favorite. Okay, both.
Go
How
to or
about
to
that?
watch?
To watch or to go to, or if you have a favorite of each,
well, I've only been going to Texas Motor Speedway. My family's been camping there for about 15 years now. So we're dedicated strong to that. My dad and his dad went off to Darlington Raceway last year, and I didn't have the time off from work to go down there, so I was jealous. Um, Me and my dad want to travel. We want to go a couple races. Our graduation present was going to be go to spend all of Speed Weeks down in Daytona, but that fell through. We were supposed to go to Indianapolis last year. That fell through. We've been wanting to go to Eldora for the trucks. That's not going to happen. We're still wanting to go to Bristol. I'm going to attempt to go to Dakota this year. So just some little things of what we're wanting to do, but I've always been to Texas Motor Speedway. I love it. The fans there are awesome. You can't get more redneck than besides Talladega, you can't get more redneck than TMS.
I do want to say, you said about how you said you go to Speed Weeks, right, every single year?
I wanted to go.
Oh.
That was part of my it's supposed to be a graduation present from high school. Was to spend all 2 weeks down there with just me and my dad, and that didn't happen. Things fell through money wise.
There's
Yeah,
a
it's
similar
super
situation
expensive
right
to stay
now
down
with
there
me
all-
and
the whole time.
Flash. Well, with me definitely and possibly Flash. I had one buddy, because I turned 21 in
for the
July.
playoff race.
That's the playoff race, but my one buddy said if I can drive my ass down to Daytona, he will pay for my ticket, pay for my hotel, well for our hotel, and pay for drinks, and he'll cook us food. So you know where my ass will be August 28th. I'll be in Daytona.
My league is taking a league vacation. Never don't know how many of the guys are going to actually be able to come, but I did put out the invite for any of the league guys that wanted to. I've got about 3 tickets. My parents are going to be away for the All-Star Race weekend, and so I'm getting the season ticket package. I'm getting the camping spots that we have. I'm working on getting an RV to take down there, and so I've got one of my friends from Colorado that I'm hoping they're going to come. I've got one from West Texas that's going to be there. So yeah, free tickets, free place to sleep. You just gotta pay for your food, and we'll work things out as far as working money wise together and getting food, but just to having a good time and getting to know each other in real life. So
I wish PSCS did that.
Getting to watch something that we all love, and after hearing that format for the All-Star race, man, I'm pumped.
What is it? I don't even know. My phone wasn't loading when I looked it up.
Ah, shit. You just a second. I can tell you, it is a hell of a show, pretty much.
I mean, I imagine it's a mile and a half instead of a short track, it's back to a mile and a half. Some say
the type of racing that they've been
half.
wanting to do, type of racing that Texas has produced lately, is not going to be anything like we have seen before at Texas.
They're putting dirt on Texas now.
Shit, I wish.
Bank's too high for that. I'm sorry. That's not happened. The bank's too damn high for that.
So also a mile and a half dirt track.
Jeez. You never know, dog.
No.
You never know.
I think Coda is going to be a very interesting race. I heard you mention said you wanted to go out there.
Sure. Next year I want to go there.
It's not too. How far between Texas
and
Motor
Austin
and yeah, I know Coda.
Austin's and Coda.
It's about a 3-hour trip.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that far.
Okay, so
Texas.
Here's the format of the All-Star race for this year. The starting line's going to be set by a random draw. and it's going to be a 6-round event.
6.
Whoa.
Six rounds, 100 laps.
So that's 600 laps.
No. 100 laps, 6 rounds, probably.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know how they're gonna do the
fucked up.
stages, but it'll.
So there is a shakeup though. The race winner will not collect $1 million this year. The race winner is going to collect $900,000, and additional $100,000 will be presented to the fastest pit crew in a mandatory pit stop near the end of the race.
Oh.
Round 1 is going to be
Fucked
15 laps, and then after round 1's over, the field will be inverted, starting anywhere from the 8th or 12th positions, and that'll be to be selected by random draw. Then we're going to do round 2. That'll be 15 laps. After that, the entire field will be inverted. Then we're going to go round 3, another 15 laps. And then after round 3 is over, again, the field will be inverted, starting anywhere from the 8th through 12th positions on a random draw. Then we're going to have a normal round 4, which is going to be 15 laps. Round 5 is going to be 30 laps. The lineup for this round will be determined by cumulative finish from the first 4 rounds, with the best cumulative finisher starting from the pole. And all cars must enter pit road for a mandatory 4-tire pit stop during this round. The crew with the fastest stop will pocket $100,000. And then round 6 is going to be 10-lap shootout. Cars will line up according to their finishing position from the previous round for the final segment. Only green flag laps will count in the All-Star race. And to add on top of that, the rules configuration for the All-Star race will use the high downforce aerodynamics package at the 1.5-mile track, but engines will use tapered spacer reduced from 59/64 of an inch to 57/64 of an inch. The setup is currently used on super speedways where horsepower targets are in the 5 to 510 range.
Whoa! So they're going to use the plate the super speedway package on the 1.5 miles with.
Yes.
Wow. Okay,
which people aren't happy about either.
But they've never combined both of those, so I don't know how.
I know, but at 1.5 miles, I don't with them giant ass spoiler. I don't.
That
know.
actually makes me think of IndyCar. Honestly, that's
honestly,
so be...
think about it this way: could we possibly be seeing for the first time drafting at 1.5 miles?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That makes
Michael
me think of how the
McDowell
IndyCars
2.0.
do out at those tracks.
Not gonna be able to pass unless you have a drafting partner.
Michael McDowell 2.0. I'm calling it.
Hey, but you mentioned the $100,000 to the pit crew, so basically they're just giving $100,000 to Denny Hamlin's pit crew. Then basically how it's been going.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean the town.
No, it's not gonna be Chase's fucking pit crew. Isn't he last?
God,
it's probably gonna be Hamlin's the way they do. They win
last year. They're complete shit this year.
Yeah.
I'm a hardcore Chase fan, and God,
I'm a Larson fan.
Together.
I had to go for Chase last year when Larson got suspended.
I would say what I'm a fan of, but we'll probably.
He's a shit Logano fan.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
now the guests are gonna leave the party. There you go. Damn.
No, not necessarily because my grandmother is a fan of Logano. Whenever I got her into NASCAR,
Yay.
Fucking Lucky Flash.
She got into Logano, and so now it's a thing of like, I respect Logano in a way, to a certain extent. If he wrecks out, I'm kind of laughing. But if he's winning and Chase is doing bad, then I'm okay with it.
To be fair, I thought it was cool when he flipped at Talladega. Once I knew he was all right, I was like, well, that's a pretty cool flip. It didn't really piss me off too bad. I was like, whatever.
I will say though, he kind of was a little bit of a baby about it because he was
he got some Kyle Busch on that, but
yeah, cause he was like, oh really, like we can do better about our safety of these cars, and I was one hit away from Ryan Newman. I'm like, all right, bitch, shut the fuck up.
It surprised me though that NASCAR took that to heart. They're actually talking about changing it now, and I'm like, oh man, all right, well, whatever.
It's like you didn't do it for fucking someone who almost fucking died, but you do it for Logano.
He was trapped in
They're
the car
probably just scared of the repercussions if it keeps happening. I don't know.
They had to cut the window net away in order for him to get out because the window net was crushed pretty much.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So.
But other than that, I mean, he was nowhere near a fucking Ryan Newman, and he's like, I was 1 hit away from a Ryan Newman incident. I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. No, you weren't.
Yeah, I
You're
didn't.
making it
That's
seem
one
a
thing I
little more
didn't agree
dramatic than
with
what
on
that
that.
was. I mean,
One thing
'cause
I
now
personally
you
think
got
is he still he has to drive the Ford where he's at. I've been watching him. I watched him when he was driving a Chevy in the lower series when it was the Busch East series and that Chevy,
So-
which that was before Gibbs itself switched to Toyota. But yeah,
But anyway, I think we got
talked
way off.
about-
track. My favorite track.
We talked about your favorite track to watch. What about favorite track or go to
On-
slash
on the-
watch?
to go to. Yeah, what
in the-
about to
what
watch?
about in the
Yeah.
game? Oh,
Oh no, wait, I thought we did because my favorite one is Texas, and then
yeah.
favorite one on the game though. Honestly, I love. God, I like Sonoma
That's a
because
first.
it's challenging. My second season, I dominated that track. I was untouchable, and I just learned manual on controller that week. And I went, and that Friday night, I went and dominated, and nobody could touch me. I led every lap.
I like road courses too.
I'm not that good on them now. I'm trying to learn because now we got some extra road course experts, and I now look like complete shit. And I'm on a wheel now. I've got a whole rig now, so I'm trying to learn on the G920. So it puts out a challenge, but I like it, and just because that intercourse inner loop there, I like it. It does throw you
The
for a
shit
loop.
part of the track where it fucking
Yeah.
kicks you sideways
Yeah,
for no
I
apparent
like
reason.
it. I like it. Because it's just all about challenges and making you better. I wanted to say Talladega, but everybody's gonna say it's a plate track because it's plate track. It's plate racing. But I did get my first win finally last week in the trucks. I've been going on a 2-season winless streak.
Dude, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Like Flash this year with him not racing a lot, so it's his fucking things. He was like 2 years and no win.
Hey.
Okay, sorry. He's gonna be going 2 years without a win at a non-plate track. Better, Flash. Make you any better.
Now, how many
You
times
won-
race a plate track?
We run the actual NASCAR schedule. Like
Yeah.
we start in February and end in November.
Gotcha.
It is a long and grueling season, but fuck, I love it. One.
Okay.
So that's like fucking 5 though. But people gotta save fuel all the goddamn time.
Hey, that's how I got my last win.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Hey, that's how I won my truck race the other night. Fuel
Jesus
strategy.
Christ, y'all fucking saving fuel.
I didn't save anything. I pitted with
That's
about
not safe
4.
fuel then.
Pitted with 4 to go, and everybody else couldn't make it those last 4 laps. First and second place ran out on the last lap, and first place was 1,000 feet from the finish line and ran out and was like out dry. So I passed them in the tri-oval.
So that takes me to the point of you obviously have been sponsoring this podcast for around 4-5 weeks now, something like that.
Has been that long?
I honestly
already?
can't remember when the first
Yeah, it might
podcast.
be- this might be the
Stanley,
6th
can you
episode,
chip
I
in
think.
here real quick and say if you look up how far back the first podcast was where they sponsored us, whatever?
This
Here,
is
here.
the 6th episode. Let's see how close I am.
I believe it was episode 7.
Oh, so only 3
1, 2,
episodes. This is the 4th.
No, this is episode 11, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
That's 5.
Oh, so yeah, we've been here for 5
good.
episodes now.
Okay. not bad. More than I thought.
So, if you want to talk about, the Northeast Texas storm chase, I always fuck it up and say Northeastern.
Northeast Texas storm chasers.
Yes. If you want to give us more info on that, floor is yours. Talk about that, buddy.
Yeah. So like I said, like I have in a little summary. It's just a group of 5 of us, really small. Man, there's a whole lot that I don't want to take up so much time. Try to cover so much in little time. But no, I've been doing it since 2014. I've enjoyed it. It started out as a little hobby of mine, just watching the weather every single day since I was about 4 years old. Enjoying the hell out of it. I'd always have my cousin in the room, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to watch the weather? They're talking about some bad weather possibly coming in." He's like, "Nah, I'll just look outside." So I was like, "Well, all right, whatever, your loss." And I was just enthusiastic about it. And about 2011 or so, I was just posting on my Facebook page like, "Hey, we got some weather rolling in," and my family was always asking me, "Hey, what's the weather gonna be like? Hey, what's the weather gonna be like?" And so I became known as the family weatherman, and everybody was always asking me. I had out of town family; they're asking me, "Hey, what's the weather gonna be like down here?" I'm like, "Well, give me a few minutes. Let me find that out, and I'll get back with you." 2014 rolls around, and next thing you know, I've got a page up and going. I told my stepmom one night, I'm like, "Hey, I want to share our information to more than just my Facebook friends. I want to share it to like a community." So we began the process of like what to call ourselves. At the time, it was just me and my stepmom. It was just 2 people. But what community were we serving? We wanted to do like North Texas, but then that name was taken, and so we finally came up after about an hour of debating, came up with Northeast Texas Storm Chasers. Storm Chasers. So it became known as that. Within, let's see, actually, I have some stats. I can find it, which I'm pretty sure I can. So here's a couple stats about the page. We started the page at 8 o'clock on November 20th. I want to say November 20th, 2014 at 8 o'clock Central. By 9 o'clock, we had 121 likes already. By 7:30 the next morning, we had 281. By 1 p.m. that next day, we had 355. And in 24 hours, we had 382 page likes. Within 6 months, we had 3,000 page likes. On our 5th anniversary, 5 years later, on our 5th anniversary, which was November 26th is whenever I checked it, of 2018, 6 days after our 5th anniversary, we had 7,400 page likes. And we just kept on growing from there. We hit our goal of 10,000 people, which was 10,109 at 10:20 p.m. on April 24th of 2019. And on December 27th, 2019, we had about 14,500 people following this page. That was including everybody in the Northeast Texas area. I had people from Vermont, Florida, Washington, Oklahoma, North Carolina, New Mexico, Arkansas, Louisiana. I think that was about it. Checking in on families that we were their only source of weather information for the Northeast Texas people that lived here, and we were the only source of weather information for the people that lived in other states to check in on their families.
Absolutely, that you found that where it needed it. I mean, that just shows you there. I mean,
oh yeah,
you found a spot that wasn't being covered. I mean, I know a lot of people would know that a lot of these different places on Facebook, you can go to certain parts of the country and see that, and you found that spot that was not being covered and covered it. And yeah,
and
I mean,
And the best part was we got so close to 15,000 people, and that was going to be a huge accomplishment. And then on December 27th, right there around New Year's Eve, I remember it just like it was yesterday. I was helping a friend of mine run a fireworks stand, and we were waking up in the morning. We were getting the stand up and going for the day, and I text my stepmom because I noticed that I got a notification saying that I had been removed. And I'm like, well, that's odd. Why have I been removed from my own page? And I know me and my stepmom have gone through some hard times here and there, and she'll remove me if I'm not if she doesn't think I'm doing good for the page, she'll remove me, and until I learn my lesson, which I never did because I didn't understand why she did in the first place. I was stubborn, but I asked her. I was like, "Hey, why'd you remove me?" And she said, "I didn't." Well, she was the only one that had access to the page besides me. Come to find out, our page had been hacked. And we never found out who did it, why they did it. We had no questions answered. All we know is that it was somebody from Arlington, Texas that did it. But within minutes, probably about 2 to 3 minutes, he had our entire page ripped apart, shredded. It was no longer existent.
Wow.
Almost 15,000 people gone. Ever since then, we've had to restore the page. And now we're up to about 1,300 people. We have not grown like we did originally, but
right.
The group that we have, I couldn't have been more proud to have following us. So that's kind of the way the page part is worked. I know the couple of juicy things that I know y'all probably want to know, like the couple of chases, probably.
Yes.
So, let's see, what do I want to do? So we cover about 25 counties in the Northeast Texas area. We do cover more than that. There's a level risk. If y'all ever see it on the Weather Channel or whatever about the storm prediction center, they issue a level 1 through a level 5 threat.
Oh yeah. I know it.
Yep. So if it becomes a level 3 enhanced risk area, then we do expand our coverage out to include almost probably about 45 counties, and that does include portions of North Texas area and pushing even farther south into the more of the Eastern Texas area. But some of the notable chases that I've been on, I wasn't on this one, but I was around it whenever it happened, close enough to chase it from home. And that was the Canton 2017 tornadoes here in Texas, where one night we had about 3 tornadoes spawn in the exact same location. And
which is very rare, by the way, for people who do not know. That is rare as hell for that to happen.
Yeah,
especially in that. I mean, like I told you when we talked, whatever. I have been fascinated with tornadoes since I was fucking like 5 years old or whatever. There used to be a show on the Weather Channel called Storm Chasers. I used to watch that show every fucking day. I love that stuff.
And no shit. He actually before any of this, before the podcast, before even we were involved anything with CRL, I had some storms move in the area. I guess
the hurricane, yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
Was it? Yeah, was it last year? Okay. And you were talking me through like everything you saw, and you're like, this looks like a formation. It looks like you're gonna have a tornado here. And he was like talking.
Oh, it was
like
it
you are fascinated with that stuff.
There
dude.
was a hook, like, cause you know how like tornadoes, there's a hook on the radar or whatever. Yeah, there was a massive one. I was like, Flash, you need to fucking get to see.
Yeah, in my area, I'm in Virginia, so we
He's in a
we-
fucking trailer park, and I'm like, bro,
yeah,
get
but we
the fuck
don't
out of
commonly
there.
get tornadoes, especially not bad ones. I mean, I've had one within a few miles of me a few times, but they're like EF zeros. I mean, nothing that would even register on the scale,
On the scale.
in your area. But still, he was freaking out too, and it made me freak out. I was looking, I was like, "You're right, it is hooking." And yeah, it was
I've
funny.
always been fascinated.
that up
I've
and then
always
think
been
of it.
fascinated with like storms and stuff. Like since I was little.
I'll tell you, if you go on Google and you search Canton, Texas tornadoes, one is going to pull up 2017, whenever you had 3 tornadoes spawning in the exact same, like one spawned, it tracked straight through Canton, Texas, and then about not even 20 minutes later, the second one forms right in the same spot where the first one formed. It moves on the exact same path, just a hair more east, and then about another 10 minutes later, a third one formed on the exact same spot the first two did, took a very similar path, a little bit more westward, and went through downtown Canton. And that one was the big long track one that actually ended up dying out at my county line. It was bearing down on my hometown city, and it just died out at the county line, thankfully. But if you look up Canton, Texas tornado magnet, you'll probably see a lot of stuff on Google about Canton, Texas. If there's any severe weather in the Northeast Texas, East Texas area, and Canton, Texas is inside that risk, that is where, as a storm chaser, you want to be, because you can guarantee a tornado is going to be there. Because it just always seems to happen. A tornado strikes Canton every single time. It just seems like it. It doesn't, but oh my God, they just get the worst. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the environment of it is, but it happens every single time. They had it in 2017. They had it in 2019. But that was one that I did from home. The two biggest ones, most recently, that I actually got to get out of the house and actually chase, that were hella awesome, was the big one that they talked about, North Dallas, Texas tornado, back on October 20th, 2019. That tornado ended up being an EF3 with winds reaching 140 miles per hour. We're out chasing, and we started out about 5 o'clock that evening. We got out and about. We knew there was a chance of some storms. Nothing was forming, and so we called it a day. We almost called it a day. And then these two single little cells by themselves, with no other rain around them, form up near Dallas. And they said, watch these two cells. They're in a very favorable environment for a tornado to form. Instability is really moist. The air is moist. The ingredients are perfect. So watch for these two supercells to really fire up. Next thing we know, tornado warning for that cell that was just north of Dallas, or south of Dallas at the time, and it moved almost downtown Dallas, and that's whenever it spawned that tornado at approximately 8:07 p.m. that evening, Central Time. And at the time, me and my team were about 30 miles away from it. We had chosen a different cell that we thought was going to blow up a lot quicker. We didn't see a whole lot with that cell. We knew it was in a favorable environment. We didn't think it was going to blow up like it did. Sure enough, it did. Once we got the tornado warning, we hauled ass over there. We weren't able to get any shots of it. One, it was dark, and two, all you could see, because of how far away we were, we were just too far away to get anything. We did see power flashes, so we knew it was getting just pretty much destroyed. We didn't know exactly at the time how close to downtown Dallas it was. It got pretty close, but then it went through North Dallas. And so what we did is that night we got back home. We sat in the Walmart parking lot in my hometown, and we called up all the emergency centers and said, "Hey, y'all need help?" And they said, yes, but we're only allowing certain people to come in. So let me get y'all's names down, and we'll give you a call if we need you. Well, we finally come to find out that Greg Abbott had put out a declaration for disaster for that area, and I'm partnered with a disaster response team. So we loaded up that next morning, and we loaded the truck up. We had work that day, so once we got off of work, we all met up. We left out about 3 to 4 o'clock. Got over to the area. We went to the central police station over there. They sent us out to where they want us to go to, and they said that they're going to send us to where they think they need help at, but we're not assigned with the city of Dallas. Unlike everybody else, they said that they didn't have proper paperwork from us, so they said that we're on our own. But good luck and just be safe out there. And so we did. We ended up staying. We went over there 3 days. The next 3 days, we went back and forth for about an hour and a half trip, and we cleared roadways, complete darkness. It was really heartwarming. We went to the hardest hit area where the tornado first touched down at, which was a rich ass neighborhood. So everything was destroyed, but at the same time, nobody was there. Of course, everybody's already at that point. They're already booked up in a hotel, enjoying a jacuzzi and a beer. But that was a fascinating time because just getting to see that area just rampaged over, and that was the first time for me getting to see destruction up close and of how strong the tornado was. It was mind blowing. It brought me to tears. We met up with this one family that was chilling out, having a little campfire with their ATV that wasn't destroyed, and they had their daughter's car that they just bought underneath the carport, and she said that she was in tears because she said, "My daughter's coming home from college in 2 weeks, and she has no idea that we've been hit, and she's going to come home to a house that's non-livable and to a brand new car that's supposed to be hers that she can't even, it's not even drivable." And she's been begging us, and we told her that we'd get her one. So she's expecting one, and now she isn't going to have one. And it was just heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's the one thing about storms is like that's the one thing that especially with tornadoes and stuff that you can't control. That's like the bad side of they're really fucking cool to see, but at the
in a
same
moment
time,
they can
like,
take everything from you.
they can literally take not only a life, but they can take a lot more than just that.
Mm-hmm.
They can. I know that. I mean, I haven't really had one that's like severe, but I've had like small ones that still, small ones can still tear the fuck out of anything. Like they're not to be messed with. Like, I will say a warning. Like, if you're going after these things, know what the fuck you're doing. Don't go out there unless you have the right equipment for one,
Like this guy.
or if you know the fuck you're unless you know what you're doing.
Don't
Like,
just do it for fun and do it. If you like you
I mean,
said.
I would, but that's me. I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
stupid,
but you're
and I would do
stupid.
it.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say you're stupid, so it's
if
fine.
you have a brain in your head, you do not do it unless you have the right people, or
right
like the
equipment,
right
right people.
yeah. To do
And
that
don't chase
for.
it. If you're going to go out and chase these things, the biggest thing I can say is don't chase alone.
Don't do it at night. Don't chase.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
chase at night. I mean, unless you're me.
well, I mean, because a lot of the ones that are, and if you see a rain tornado, do not fucking drive to the rain, because you'll be fucked.
No. Yeah, no. Those are the worst. Whenever me and my groups were like watching those on radar, and we're like, well, shit, it's rain wrapped, or it's becoming rain wrapped. We can tell based on radar. Yep, it's gonna be rain wrapped, and we're like, well, shit, I ain't going anywhere near that one.
Yeah, those always scare me. But is there anything? I mean, No, I'm not trying to cut you short or anything.
No. I do want to bring up one more. That's probably the scariest. I want to bring up the funnest one I've been on.
All right.
Okay.
We'll do that, and then we'll move on to Strong, because I know he's probably over here fucking slumped. So.
Yeah, no, you're good. I don't want to take any more time than what I have to.
It's been exciting, man. I'm
I mean, yeah,
I was
it's
just sitting there
definitely
listening,
exciting.
like
Yeah,
engrossed
so
in
am
what you were
I,
saying with
but
that story.
you
I
know,
was like, oh man.
I kind of don't want him to be waiting for like 5 hours.
Yeah, let's
No,
hear
you're
about
good.
that fun story that you got about it.
Yeah, that's actually a little bit shorter, but so it was actually Yargo actually probably know about this one because it was history making. It was the Easter Sunday of last year.
Yeah.
The big tornado outbreak down in Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
I was on that one.
Wow.
That was my very first time to number one. I looked at some models beforehand. I was checking some stuff out. I was like, all right, you know what? Let's see how it goes. Let's see what it looks like first. I'm here in possible tornado outbreak. I've got the time off of work. So let's just see what it looks like before I even make a decision. So the day before, I was checking some models out, talking with some friends. One of my friends that I haven't ever chased with, she was thinking about coming down from Tennessee to chase. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe I can meet up with her and we can chase. Sure enough, we did. But the biggest thing was I've never chased in Dixie Alley. And for y'all viewers or listeners that may be in the Mississippi, Alabama area, then you know what I'm talking about. Dixie Alley is the worst place to chase. It's nothing but trees. You cannot see anything whenever it comes to chasing tornadoes or chasing any type of severe weather. You're going in blind. Road network is completely terrible. And that's what makes it so challenging. And a lot of people die because of that. So you have a tornado outbreak forming. You've got Easter weekend, and so you know people are going to be out and about anyways. And of course, the big guy that everybody knows, Reed Timmer, he was out there, and I've never chased Dixie Alley before. I've never chased a tornado outbreak before. I've never chased a level 4 or a level 5 threat before. And everybody of my storm chasing friends told me, do not go after the storm. Like, don't do it alone. Even if you're going with somebody, don't do it. It's not worth the risk. You're still young. You can do these chases later on in life, but there's no need to take a risk this early whenever you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, to hell with you. I'm going to go do it. So I went out. I left out about 3 o'clock in the morning. I made my way to Jackson, Mississippi. Met up with my friend from Tennessee, and we chased all day long for about 12 hours. We were on the road, and we actually were watching radar. We caught this one tornado. We weren't able to catch on camera, but we caught it, and we're like, all right, let's see what it does. Ended up weakening out very quickly. Well, then the big historic one that everybody's probably going to know about is the Bassfield tornado.
I thought you were going to say Joplin, Missouri.
No, Bassfield, Mississippi. It was the largest tornado in Mississippi state history. About, I want to say, 2 miles wide.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like
2 miles wide, 180 miles per hour. It was an EF4. And it was also rain wrapped. So that made it even worse. And we were chasing it. We got in position. We had people that was on like mapping. They checked us out and followed us and told us where to go and all that. So we were chasing it, and they said, we'll get in this spot. Well, then the tornado turned and came straight for us. We got within a quarter mile from the rotation. We could see debris flying. And we were on a back road, and there was no way out. And we were like, well, fuck, we're trapped. luckily that we were able to find a exit route, got the hell out of there. This town called Bassfield took a direct hit. We were the first ones on scene, and luckily we were watching people come out of homes for the first time after that tornado ripped through there. We beat sheriff's department there. We beat local fire department, and we told them, hey, everything's okay. Just a lot of destruction, obviously. Power lines are down the road. The only bad thing was that the way the damage was there's only one way into the city from the east and the west, and both ways were blocked to get in. You could not get into the city. So that was a struggle for emergency vehicles and for anybody wanting to get in to try to aid to people. They couldn't. Roads were blocked, so they were on foot. Later on, there was a sister tornado that formed right behind it, and it was coming directly for them once again. It missed the city by about 3 miles, and we ended up coming in right behind it. We got trapped in some woods on roads that were blocked by the first tornado, and luckily it wasn't a big one. It was about like EF1 or EF2, not a large one, but we got trapped, and luckily it missed us by about a mile. But we could see the rain wrapped from where we were stationed at, and that's probably the scariest moment of our life. It was fun but scary. And we went through the area. We went through the damage path of that city and nearby cities that where that same tornado tore through, and checked on some power, checked on people. Like I said, I left out about 3 o'clock that morning. It was about a 6-hour trip. I slept for about 30 minutes on the way there. I pulled over for 30 minutes, slept, and then I was on the road for 12 hours straight. Dropped my friend off at the hotel, and then I took a 6-hour trip back with 30 minutes sleep. So I had probably about an 18-hour day that day, with about 1 hour of sleep. And that was probably the best chase I've ever been on. I'm ready to go back to Dixie Alley, and it's just a matter of time to win.
I don't definitely sounds fun. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you have a lot of fun, and
I'd say definitely an
make
amped
me
lifestyle
wanna-
to be.
now you make me want to come the fuck out and like come and
I
jump
knew you were gonna say that.
jump into a fucking tornado.
Jump into it. Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
And the best thing was, Ray Timmer did not have a single tornado. He went home empty. While we were the first ones on that tornado. Whenever it went tornado warning, we were the first chasers out of everybody that was on it. And Ray went home empty. We did not.
Oh shit!
Now, granted, we don't have near the equipment that Reed does. I have a 01 Dodge with just a little GPS on it, with a little and a monitor on the top, and then I got my radar on my phone. That's about all I use.
That's a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying. That's not a lot of stuff.
But we get almost the same data that Reed does.
That's dope. That you can do that, and like with like less stuff, and it'll be not out of it really.
It saves about the same amount of lives. That's all. That's really what we kind of stand for is community first, and then just caring about the community, and then caring about others around us, and then keeping everybody safe. That's our number one goal. Is we may put our lives out in danger, but putting our lives in danger for others' safety.
Yep,
Exactly. Yep. They know exactly what's going on with you out there. So, brave work for sure.
So, Flash,
Mm-hmm.
you wanna be the guest to you wanna be the dude to you wanna actually do something for once, and
What would that be?
wrap something up for once? Because I've had a lot of fun talking to him. We've been going for I haven't on a time check yet from Stanley, But I know I've had a dope ass time talking to you.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Storm.
been a hell of a story.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, just everything that you've been talking about. I've been listening in, and I was like, just kind of engrossed in everything you were you were talking about. It was definitely had my attention. It makes I mean, I still think Heathen is wanting to wanting to come out there and storm chase with
Just a
you
little
from how
bit.
it sounded with him.
Just a little
'Cause he-
bit.
I think I could feel the drool already dripping out. He's just listening to the story. He's like, I want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's been like my thing. I've always, you Flash, you know, I've always wanted to do that type of shit. Like I've always wanted to go out and
Maybe one day.
at least do that. And you said you're born in '99. I was born
Yep.
in 2000, so you're not that old than me.
I just turned 22 in April.
I just turned 21. Not yet, but about to turn
almost
21.
yeah, you're almost 21.
Shut the fuck up.
Still a child.
Yeah. Shut up, kid. Heathen.
Wow. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate your
Yeah,
coming
thanks
on
for coming on
the
for sure, man.
podcast.
Oh yes, for sure. I'm glad to have
was
me,
awesome.
and glad to be sponsoring y'all.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we for the foreseeable future, we keep this thing going. We'll have you back on down the road.
Oh yeah, with more great stories for sure.
Yeah, you can tell us some more.
Hey,
Maybe
next time you
after
come
the
back,
summer
you
of
better you have more stories for us.
Oh, no doubt. This is ongoing. This year, I'll probably have some more stories from this year alone.
yeah. So I said after the summer of chasing, we'll have to have you
This
on after.
the season is,
Couple months,
is actively going. I'm watching 2 more threats this upcoming week. For
Nice.
Oh,
That's
dope.
yeah.
So, I will say, be safe when you're out there. Obviously,
hmm
don't do anything I wouldn't do. So that means don't jump in the tornado face first. Because I would do that. Just see what the fuck it's like.
See where it takes you.
Yeah, I gotta see what the fuck I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
You'd have whiplash.
Just a little bit. But I mean,
All right, he's
having
already
here.
he's already messed up his head enough. He wouldn't even really bother him.
Concussion
Nothing.
issues, man. I'm already fucking half brain dead, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But
I
thank
mean,
you, man, for coming on. We
yep.
really appreciate
Oh,
it.
my gosh, does it.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
It's,
without doubt. It's been fun.
yeah. Would like I said, have you back on. Look forward to that in the future, and yeah, go out there, continue that chasing lifestyle. That's what like you said earlier, saves a lot of lives, and we appreciate that. I know everyone does, especially in your area that deals with them on the daily. You know, you're one of the forces standing between them and not knowing what's going on and being surprised by one popping up on them. But with your work, they don't have to worry about that as long as they follow, like you said, your Facebook page and all these others that are doing that same kind of work. So really appreciate that and the time you took to come out here with us. So have a good
Yes,
one,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that was Alex, aka Under the Lights Racing Storm. Now I don't know if Stan messaged me, and he did. We're an hour and 7 minutes into this podcast, and we're just getting to our second guest, Sean, aka Kiss the Fox, who we talked about earlier.
What
If you
the
don't know who
fuck?
Sean
Oh,
is,
sorry, I had to do
if
it.
you don't know who Sean is, he basically is Rock's running mate. I would say. I guess
Yeesh.
that's a safe word to say. He is Rock's running mate. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
That's fair. I just back Rock up.
we have talked several times on Messenger or whatever, but never
Yep.
physically talked so this is our first time actually talking really.
Yeah.
And I know Flash is like, well, he's probably count your blessings. It's your first time talking to this motherfucker. He's
I was
annoying
actually
as
just thinking
shit.
that. I'm like, well, he's still in the party, so it's a good thing.
We thought you fell asleep for a minute. Not gonna
No,
lie.
I was interested in the storm stuff.
Hell yeah, man. That's
Yes,
that's what
very cool.
I told him
yeah.
before. I was like, you
Kept me
had
going.
to talk about. I was like, you had to talk about your stuff, man. Like, if you don't, I'm gonna cry. So,
Oh.
not actually. Oh shit. I've dozed off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. For people that are listening to the podcast.
Nah,
It's
they're
almost-
watching this at noon. It's still it's nice afternoon for them right now.
Well, no fucking shit. No, it's nice for them, but it's not nice for us at this time.
Drink your 12th can of Monster today. You'll be all right.
I'm not. I've had Monster for 2 days. But so how's it going, buddy?
That's good. Elite, we just finished our first playoff race ever tonight. So
How did it go? I know you probably messaged me earlier, but
yeah.
how did it go? Because honestly,
Well,
you messaged me probably like an hour ago. I'm like, yeah, I was just finishing that fucking long ass race that I was a part of. So
hours seemed to
Yeah, I
go
know.
by really fast tonight, which is weird. But I was
Yeah.
driving with one hand because I had a little procedure done to my left shoulder yesterday, and I was trying to drive with one hand tonight, and ended up hitting the pit wall twice. tonight,
Ew,
driving
and
with
you're at
one
Michigan
hand.
tonight too.
Yeah. So I didn't do too well tonight, but hopefully next week I'll come back.
I'm hoping.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it's-
know you've been kicking fucking teeth in over there. I only know that because I'll be watching or keeping tabs and all that on rock posting, and every single damn day it's always Kiss the Fox wins.
I've
Like,
had some.
the fuck?
I've had some good runs.
I'm gonna have to. I was like, do I have to go on there and show what the fuck? Like, do I have to show him up or something like that? So I was like, I don't want to do it. If I have to do it, I have to do it. You feel me?
Well, I've never
Nah.
thought of myself as a short track driver, but that's what I've had my luck on this
Short
season.
track drivers.
Yeah, I never thought of
Short
myself
track
as that,
races.
but yeah, my first win was at Dover. That was my first league win actually, ever. That was the day after my birthday. And then I won at Iowa and New Hampshire. That was 2 in a row, and I don't know how in the world I did that because I do not like Iowa. I've always struggled there, and so had some runs.
That was a fun track. Multi-aligned, which is really, really, really nice.
You used to hate
Yeah.
Iowa, but yeah,
I used to have a lot of tracks until I started racing presets, and I learned all the tracks, and I'm decent at almost every track now.
I really like New Hampshire. It's just Iowa that I
I
always
don't want to
struggled with.
correct you, but I'm gonna correct you. On this podcast, you don't call New Hampshire, New Hampshire's New Hamster.
New
Yeah,
Hampshire,
it's-
yes.
New
Okay, New
Hampshire. It's
Sorry,
his thing.
I have
I don't know. He has
my brain
I don't
is
know.
not all the way there. And I get very upset when people don't call it New Hamster. So, so I
just
do
call you
apologize.
late.
You don't know
I
how
was
many
just
league
too late
chats
to
that he's
spell it out.
corrected people in with that.
Yep. Every time we go to New Hampshire, I'm always I have to put the poll whatever. Be like, are you going to New Hampshire? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay,
He
bet.
even takes it as far as putting the little hamster emoji on the
Oh, I
thing.
like that. Okay, I like that. Next time I have to when I have to make another ad for our Cup Series.
Yeah!
Yeah,
I'll
oh God, it's spreading.
give you credit for that. Yeah.
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 Like-
There you go.
Like, here you go, heathen. Just
Yeah,
like-
yeah. I'll make sure that I give you credit. There'll be a little asterisk
Hell
down
yeah.
there with your name on it.
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
But yeah. I have to either I'm gonna think of new questions or I'm probably not because my brain is already fried. So I'm gonna ask you some
More
questions. I
fried
asked
than
him.
it was
yeah,
already.
I got a whole list of stuff if you run out of material.
Oh shit.
Oh, hee.
Oh, here's
I used to be
Let's hear it.
I used to be a teacher, so I'm used to making lots of notes and
Oh, this is
lots
fun.
of
Hey,
planning.
Oh,
all
what,
I'm
uh,
saying is I don't want to.
What subject? Or were you more of a homeroom?
No, I was an English teacher.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is I don't want to go back to
You
school.
can teach him
okay?
a few things.
I dropped out for a reason.
Did you hear that though? He was an English teacher. He might can help you out.
I don't know
Sure.
English. I don't even know. I don't even know how to fucking say like the English language.
Yeah,
Half a
exactly.
damn
You
time.
made your own language up.
Heathenese. Damn right.
Yeah.
You know, cell phones have done that. Cell phones have just destroyed the English language. So we all
Oh yeah,
do it.
I agree with you there.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I do
even
it.
on my phone that much, really. I am, but I'm not on it. They terrible that much.
I mean, I get questions all the time when I text somebody, and they're like, "Why do you spell the whole word out?" I'm like, I don't know. I just
Heathen.
Well,
Remember
Yeah.
he-
I'm old. I'm constantly having to look up stuff like abbreviations. Like the
I
slang.
just don't like abbreviating. I mean, abbreviate certain things. Like, I mean, like, but like, I don't know. I'm like that too, and I'm younger. I like that. I mean, I'm young, I guess, in a way. I'm not as young
You're
as
not
Steven,
young.
but
You're old as shit.
I am
But,
26.
I'm 44. I grew up
Flash
at
is
a
older.
time where there were no cell phones and stuff.
I'm 26.
Flash is older. He's like 90.
I still remember barely a time without camera phones. Just when everything changed, everybody had their own camera in their pocket.
Yep, that's right.
Flash started running on flip phones. That's what he started on.
Yeah, I mean, but that had a camera. I just remember the time when my dad got his first camera phone when he had the old flip phones. Because my first phone did have a camera. I mean, but I remember he got his first camera phone, and that's where everything started. I remember YouTube, and everybody started recording their own stuff, and that's when society collapsed. And there
No,
we are.
Flash didn't watch. He didn't watch YouTube. He watched the other tube.
Yeah, it was
If you know
back
what
in
I
the
mean.
day. It was only YouTube, pretty much.
Nah, there was other stuff.
Before
he
that, it
watched.
was nothing. Well, there was always. I mean, if we're gonna go to that point of the podcast, that's fine, Ethan. But
Nah, man, I'm joking.
I remember
think-
there wasn't that much stuff on the internet. Like back in 1996, that was my first, I guess, run with the
Long time
internet.
ago.
Yeah, there was like nothing on the internet. You would basically get to the end of the internet if you were on it long enough.
Hmm?
That's when I was first started college.
This is why Flash goes to the dark web.
oh yeah,
There you
you'll come
go.
get us. See this podcast up here
Yeah.
talking about the dark web. You gotta be quiet about it.
Yeah, the computer
Oh,
start
shit, my
watching
bad.
You.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Flash has already bought an assassin, to assassinate someone for
You're gonna
$3,000.
just confuse this everything.
Sorry, so my brain's fucked over. But like I asked him, how did you get your start in league racing? And
Well,
Yes.
the first game I ever played, because I'm much older than most people, was I actually played. Oh, but I'm not even going back to Atari and stuff. But the first NASCAR game was Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge from 1990, which was on the original.
yes,
Yeah,
I know that one.
which was and that one came first. That was on the original NES, and
Yep.
then a little bit after that was Days of Thunder, the Days of Thunder game, and that game was unique because the only view you had in that game was from inside the car, and you could see the cage and everything from inside the car. So that game was pretty unique. But those were the first two, that to my knowledge, the first two NASCAR games that were actually video games, to my knowledge. So that was and I mean I watch racing. I've been in Charlotte for 20 years. But before that, I grew up a little. See, I grew up about an hour and a half from Bristol, so that's where I grew up originally. So Bristol's my favorite track. If you want to ask that one, or that's the track that I went to.
I'm an hour and a half from Richmond, so I know how that.
Yeah.
I have Flash Irish Pistols, but he'll want to go to the concert with me in Richmond. Yeah.
But anyway, so my actually getting into online and stuff, I played just about every NASCAR game that came out, through the 90s, through the 2000s, probably up to, I think my last game was NASCAR 2011, and then I took had some health issues and stuff come up, and after 2011, I didn't play another game until NASCAR Heat 4, which a friend of mine actually had, and I didn't own that game, but I played it with my friend who had it, and I didn't really do online or anything. I just played it with him at his house. But then last May maybe, or I was like, I'm gonna try another NASCAR game. that's got online and stuff with it. So I pre-ordered Heat 5, and when the game came out, I thought it was cool. But the first time I tried to play online, I was just really shocked because I played other racing games online, but I could not believe the online lobbies in NASCAR Heat. I was just so I spent probably a good month just playing in career when it came out last July, and then I got kind of bored, and so the first thing I tried to do was look at the little things you can send out through Xbox, the looking groups or whatever. Didn't really get anything from those. And I had, and I'd been on Facebook for quite a while also. So I guess I'd typed something in or something, and I started getting these things for Heat 5 on Facebook, and I saw some of the groups. And at one point, I had just sent out there and said, hey, I'm tired of online lobbies in career. And I, would see people that had leaks and things because I had been in other games where people had leaks, and I just put that out there, and someone came back very quickly from the league called the Lightning Series, and they said, yeah, you can. Yeah, I said, I'm pretty much a rookie as far as it is because I haven't played in so long in NASCAR, and so I joined the Lightning Series. I think it was last August maybe, and they were really good to me. It's hard for me to just say how great they are, but that's basically how I got into online racing in NASCAR anyway, and that's kind of what brought me to where I am. And then after the stuff with the Lightning Series that came to pass. In early January, myself and one of my friends that were in the Lightning Series, we had talked a lot about it last year about, it'd be cool to start a league, mainly for beginners, but not just beginners, but a more casual league for people maybe who are new to the game, even new to NASCAR. And that's when we started what now is called the IRDL, Independent Racing Development League. It did have a different name when it first started, but we did go through a transition about 3 weeks ago. But that's basically what we've been doing, and I was really thinking about Storm earlier when he was talking about being handed the league and how hard it was, but it really is very challenging to run a league. It a lot of people may not think that, but it is. I mean, I worked so hard when in mid-January when we started this league. I honestly, even myself, did not realize how difficult it was to start a league up and all the things you need if you want to do it right. I mean, you could I guess you could start a league and just do whatever, but if you really want to have a league and it be organized and it's somewhere where people really want to come to and race, then it is pretty hard. It's a lot of dedication.
Yes, for sure. I do know that we talked earlier, and one of the people who I guess is your talent person or whatever is
Yes.
someone that we know very, very, very well. That name going by Samuel Dudchef,
Yes.
aka Sammy,
He's
as
awesome.
we know him.
Yes.
Me and Flash have known that man for
Yes.
fucking years now.
Yeah, it's been a couple years now. Been great friends with him. A lot of late nights on all kinds of games with him. Sometimes just me and him. Sometimes me, him, and Heathen. Sometimes
Late
just
nights
you and him.
of just fucking talking
Yeah.
about the old days. Well, not the old days, because me and him are close in age, but talking about like our life experiences and shit.
Oh, he's got some stories too. If you want to talk about life experiences,
There's a
Sammy,
lot.
it's yeah, he's had a definitely an interesting life to say the least, and
Yeah, that's to say the least.
yeah, pretty. I mean, it's pretty cool that you think so much of him too, and that y'all know each other like that. So that's
Well, Sammy had I put a post out probably about 6 weeks ago, maybe, or something like that. I had two drivers that had tried out for our league, and it just wasn't going to be a good fit. They were more above the driving level of my league. They were more semi-pro expert level drivers, and I just don't. It's not good to have pro drivers in our league because we're not a pro league. So these two guys, I put a post out in the community asking if anyone could maybe try these guys out, and within, I mean, I had probably gone to fix something to eat or something, and within probably 10 minutes, I get this message from this Sammy guy, and he's like, yeah, let me have their names, let me talk to them. And that was my first experience with Sammy, and he was just absolutely great. I mean, and then when we went through our league restructure, changing our name and this stuff about 3 weeks ago, Sammy had contacted me again. Kind of just what's going on, what's happening with your league, and I was explaining some of the stuff we were having to go through, and he said, well, if you need my help with anything, just ask. And then he and I started talking about, we've got drivers in IRDL from just basic beginner all the way to pretty intermediate. There's a couple guys in my league. I think some days if they stuck with it, they could even be pro someday. So he and I were talking about that, and he said, well, I don't mind to help with anything if drivers need, help with anything, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, well, would you be comfortable joining as a driver consultant? And you could attend practices if you wanted to, or just in the driver chat if you wanted to give advice. And that was about 2 weeks ago, I guess, and it's worked out great. He's already given advice to myself on things and other drivers, and I mean he is just absolutely great. I can't say enough good things about Sammy.
Yeah, that's awesome. He had mentioned that that he had taken on that role, and I thought that was cool that he did that. I was like, and he went into a little bit of detail, but I'm hearing more from you, like, because he was like he wasn't gonna talk about it too much because it was just getting going, I guess, and
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's that I know he enjoys having that opportunity as well, because he loves giving back to the community like that. He's always talked about that, especially it's a big place in his heart. This community he's found a lot in common with a lot of people in it, and a lot of love from everyone. So that's cool. That's a good story.
Well, that kind of plays into how that I got involved with rock. When we first started RDL, or not going to go by the former name anymore, but when we first started it back in January, um, and I was lucky enough to, I guess, stumble upon Rock's community. Um, I saw all the positive stuff that was going on that wasn't going on in necessarily the other NASCAR communities on Facebook that I joined, and I saw Rock congratulating so many leagues, so many people, night after night, and I just thought, wow, what a great idea that is! What awesome positivity that this guy's creating. So when I had time, I would just go in there and go under him and just post, hey, congratulations to you all. And eventually, after I guess doing that for some weeks, I get a message from Rock, and he's like, the support that you're giving the community, I'm seeing that it's not going unnoticed. And then, we a little bit more time went by, and he said, the community is growing, and I see that you have a passion for our community, and that's when he offered me to position as his moderator. And I'm probably the luckiest guy. I feel like the luckiest guy there is, because through the community and through getting offered that moderator position, I've gotten so many awesome opportunities, and so many things that have really come my way, Sammy being one of them. But there's so many more. There's so many more people that I've have acquaintances with now that just are willing to help with anything, and just goes to show you all the positivity that Rock's page has, and it's the way that I would describe it. And Rock and I had a pretty lengthy conversation late the other night about all this, and the way I would describe his community page is to me it enhances the driver experience, because you could have all these leagues out there, but it really just puts like some icing on top of everything. It brings people together. It enhances everyone's experience. I know with being an owner also and being a moderator in that group, I have a pretty special experience with being a moderator in there and being a driver. It really enhances my ownership in my league with being a part of that community and how positive it is. It's just, I just can't say enough about what's such a great experience that I've had working with Marty in that community page.
Well, and I can just say, since you've been talking on this whole podcast and interview, I mean, and knowing what you've done before, seeing what you post and what you talk to everyone on the community page, you are the perfect person to be the moderator for what he does too. I mean, it's beyond perfect with your attitude for everything and everything. I mean, it really it makes the community better as a whole with what you do, with what he does and everything. I told him the same when we had him on. It really is. It's amazing what y'all have done, and like you said, in such a short amount of time too. I mean, what you've been able to do since coming on with that and all that. I mean, it's amazing. It really is.
Well, when I was a teacher, teachers we had a saying that positivity is catchy. And it really is. So that, to me, that's why I feel like that the page and the community has grown so much, is because you have all this positivity.
Words of encouragement can go a long way.
It can, and there was a post that Rock had shared from one of the winner banners that he sends out to one of the winners, and the person in the league that won made a comment back to us saying, I finally got my name up in here. That's what I've been waiting on. That's what you work for, is to get your name up in lights in here. And so, when I got, even though I'm moderator in the community, I have to say that I got my first win at Dover back in March. When I went across that finish line, I was also thinking, oh my gosh, Rock is going to put me up there. I'm going to be up there in a few minutes. And I saved it. I screenshotted that, and I've got that put up somewhere. So it's an awesome feeling. It just, getting my first league win was wonderful. But then seeing it up there on that page and Rock congratulating me like that, it just absolutely blew me away. And now I know why so many people try to work so hard and why they want to be part of that community. It's just something.
It really is. It's a phenomenon here lately with y'all. I mean, the growth and everything that we've seen throughout it, and the league to league, they all like push each other up. I mean, it's very few leagues that are issues anymore that try to say they're the best at this or the best at that. It's more of a, we all are just doing our thing and running these leagues and just having fun, and come join us if there's a spot, or you come join this other one if there's a spot. It's like it's all what the word is, community. So.
Yeah, and I've had quite a few people reach out to me and through the community and say, I'm looking for this and this in a league, and I often tell people, we've probably got something to offer you. It may take a day or two to find it in terms of a league, but if you're new, and sometimes these come from new drivers, people that just hit the community, I've told people one of the luxuries we do have is we have so many leagues now.
Yeah, you want to run
somewhere. Yeah.
You want to run a Monday night preset, or you want to run a Friday afternoon custom? I mean, there's everything.
Yes,
few and
there's
far,
so
everything possible.
There's just about everything. So and so much of it now is just so positive and welcoming to people, and it's it's just great. It really is. It's great to be an owner in it. It's great to be a driver in it, and I mean I take my job as moderator so seriously, and I know Rock is super serious about it. And by the way, we just we have a new moderator, a second moderator with me now, Aiden Norman. Is our new moderator, if you didn't know that, and he's doing a great job already. He's spreading that positivity, just like Rock and I are. So yeah, the community page is growing almost 900 now. So we needed a third person to help out. It was getting to be big.
Yeah, I would say one for every 300 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's growing. It's growing. We want it to grow. We want it to grow. But as things grow, it becomes harder to manage it just with two people. But I think Rock made a great choice with Aiden. He's a really good guy, and he also cares a lot about the community as well.
That's amazing to hear too. I didn't know about that myself. Not sure about if Heathen did, but that's yeah. Well, that's awesome. That extra help. It's always necessary, like you said, with that kind of growth. You've seen. And
you have to.
Yeah, and it's extra encouragement, because now, if you win a race or someone wins a race, now you're likely to not just get one congratulations or two and then for me, now you may get three. You may get one from Rock, me, and Aiden.
Well, yeah. Whenever Aiden takes, like, he normally when he wakes up, he always does it. I mean, you do it right after Rock does. I feel like you have that thing, like you have that motherfucker just like yeah, it's my time to whenever Rock posts, like, oh yep, time to get up. Time to post something.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what we try to do. We really try to do it as fast as we can, but sometimes we get behind. But we really want people to know that we care about the community. We care about them. We know that it's not just a game to people. It's something it's a big piece of their lives, and that's why we try to acknowledge people as soon as we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely do agree with that about it being part of a life, because at least my life personally, Flash knows that I take this game sometimes way too fucking seriously.
But it is. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, it's for a lot of people. I mean, it's their getaway. It's their whether it be their relaxation or whether it be their time to get amped up, whatever you want to look at it, or however anybody feels with doing it. I mean, it's something for them. It's their escape, is I guess the best way to put it. I mean, it's whatever they got going on in their life, this is their escape. The league, whatever they do, or the community page itself, even if they don't really run the leagues too much, if they just talk with the community, or if they just they're involved in that side of it. I mean, that's all that is their escape from what we all call everyday life. I mean, it's that's what it's about.
Right. Yeah, it's an escape, because we know that people, and especially in the last year and a half, have had a pretty rough go at it, and the community page and the leagues, they are a place to get away from it. And that's why I think that's why we take it. One of the reasons we take it so serious, trying to enhance all that with the page, is because it is people's getaway. So for some people, it may be their only getaway from work. Maybe their only getaway from what's going on at home or wherever. It may be the only thing they have to get away from it.
I know Flash can attest to that. That was definitely a big thing for me. Is this game kind of actually not really saved me, but it kind of did.
To a degree, it did save you.
I was in a very, very, very bad place. Like,
I mean, but that speaks to so much. I mean, think about how many people that this game possibly, I mean, who knows? They saved their life. Maybe it just, made their day better. I mean, but to that degree, it could
Yeah.
have saved their life. Yeah. I mean, who knows? It's so many different things. It's really,
Yeah.
it's really different from, all these other games. I mean, because our community is, in comparison to like your big AAA titles, your Call of Duty stuff like that. Like we're small, we're under 1,000. Like you said, like just
Yeah.
community the page, and then maybe overall in Heat there's a few thousand or whatever, but it's nothing compared to any of that. So it's a tight knit community, and it means something to every single person that jumps on that game, at least that gets on it to actually race, not to troll people. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
get on there and
Yeah.
actually want to have fun and
Yeah.
have a good time. And
And
that's
there's a lot
beautiful
of
about it.
there's a lot of dickheads in this
Yeah,
community.
I mean, and
still.
there's
Yeah.
it's a lot
There's
less
not
than
as
it used
there's
to
not
be.
as much, but there's still
Yeah.
some. But I will say this community has gotten a lot better.
Absolutely, and
Just,
if
over the last like couple
and
months.
if it wasn't for Marty and for you, Sean, it wouldn't, it
I don't know
would
the hell
be
it'd be that.
yeah. I mean, could still be where we were with that. I mean, like you said, getting onto Heat. Originally, you were just floored at how some of those public lobbies were.
Yes,
And, of course, there
yes.
still are, but which
Yeah.
lobbies are what now. I mean, it's like you see,
Right. Yeah.
all right, so this guy's hosting. It's going to be a good race.
Yeah.
But before, it was just
Yeah.
like you didn't know. It was a landmine. You
Yeah.
just go in and, there it is. It's Demolition Derby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been a part of anything, any kind of. I've been involved in communities and other games, but I've never been in a community like this one that's so welcoming and so
It's
helpful.
very bipolar. I will say that because either one day it's really really fucking good, the next day it's shit. They don't know what the hell it wants.
I will say that comes to also when because they've done a few times here with at least on the Xbox side, they've done the free play days for NASCAR.
Yeah.
Those are the dark days. We have thousands of people just jumping on randomly and
Yes.
Fucking
I've been
not
a part of some of
knowing
those
how to
public
fucking
lobbies.
drive a damn car. It's like, oh yeah, let's piss
They don't
people
even know
off
you.
today.
They're going the other way. They're trying to turn right, going down.
Yes. Yes.
On the
Oh,
oval.
fucking. They're like, let's turn right. Us? What the fuck is this dumbass doing? We can tell they don't know how to fucking drive a car.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's.
And this
Like I
right
said, that's what
here
makes this community
is why
so
people
awesome.
like this podcast, because we're crackheads.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially at 3 a.m. Yeah, I could.
My brain is fucking
Right,
dry.
Mine is too. Mine is getting there. Mine's starting to crumble a little bit. But anyway, for our league, for the RDL, we have 3 more playoff races and then our championship, which will be June the 4th, and then a week later, June 13th, around a week later, we start our second season, which is going to be Cup Series. So we got a lot of stuff coming at us as far as our league goes. The future seems bright. We are completely full now for our Cup season. We have 14, and then we're going to have 1 hot seat driver because we're trying to keep it below 16. So we've got 14 right now, and then we've got several people who want to drive in a hot seat. So we're really excited about that. About
I would
all the
possibly
people that
like
we've
to
got.
burn a hot seat at some point in time. At least race like a couple races, but you guys like have the chance to at least.
But you're
Because
very
my schedule does not allow that a lot of the times. So.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That's another thing that I have been so blessed with being moderator of the community is I've been invited by multiple leagues to come and race as a guest, and it's been, I mean, I've been really humbled and just really appreciative of it. The first one I did was Cybertruck Series with Ryan Dyer. I subbed for one of his drivers, with their drivers. This has been now probably about 3 weeks ago, and I had so much fun with them. That they are we laughed and just, I mean, it was just such a fun time in Cybertruck series. Probably one of the most of the fun I've had in a long, long time. The night that I was invited to be a guest driver of their league, and then and I know you got experience with Wolfpack American Days of Thunder League.
Yeah.
I drove a couple of times for them.
I've
Actually, I
had
drove 2 weeks
mixed
in a row.
emotions. I've had mixed with them, to say the least.
And then
yeah, they are. They're there.
Yeah, and then I was invited back this past last Monday, this past Monday night, to go back to the Lightning Series and drive in their truck championship, which I was extremely honored by that they wanted me just to come back and drive in that, and that's coming to fruition. With that, I'm going to actually be going back to drive full time. I think it's May the 15th or something like that. I'm going back to drive full time with the Lightning Series in Xfinity, and I'm going to be part time in their trucks in May. So I'm going back to race with them. So my schedule's getting fuller as the time is going by.
Sounds like it. Wow.
Yeah, so that's where I'm headed. But my league, we're headed just flat on the gas. I mean, we're really happy. We've gotten into we had a really stressful couple of weeks changing their name and some things that happened with their ownership and some stuff that had to go and come and go with that kind of stuff. But I got 3 great admins that have really helped me with our transition. And we just, I mean, I'm so fortunate with the people that I have met in this community. And most of it is from Marty's page and being a moderator. I'm just so fortunate of just people offering to help with things and the knowledge that so many people have, and they've shared it with me and things. So it's just been so great this year. 2021 has started out as being the greatest year that I've had in so long.
Which always different for a lot of people, because a lot of people were like, it's just 2020.5.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of people still be like, yeah, it is stressful, yes. Like the world's not perfect, but outside of all the fucking, like, the COVID shit and whatever the hell, like, there's still a good fucking world we live in.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely,
And
yes.
granted, like, I don't like half the people in this world, but that's not beside the point.
And they don't like you. Oh, sorry.
I don't like myself either, so it's fine, man. Yeah, we need to get this world back to the way it was before 2020 hit. Cause I don't want to.
I know.
Fuck outside.
I'd love to go to a movie theater one day.
I'm going to a
Something
concert
nice.
fucking in November. Going to a race in August.
So, you're talking about concert. I just want to go see a movie again.
Yeah,
Shit.
really.
I love doing that.
I don't watch movies,
Yes.
dog.
Oh,
man.
we can missing out.
I don't watch
Yeah,
movies.
movies.
Last time I was in
Movie
a
in
movie
a
theater.
theater will never.
Last time I was
it'll
in a
never
movie
be as
theater,
good. Just watching it at home.
I didn't watch the movie. I did other stuff other than watch the movie.
Well, but
If you get my drift.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got you.
It was kind of a date, and yeah, we didn't ever watch the movie.
it has something to do with the bottom of the popcorn bucket, right? Am I close?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess things haven't changed that much in 25 years.
No one fucking likes movie theaters around here. But I guess I have to ask you. Well, you already answered 4 of the questions I asked. I was gonna ask you, how you got how you started, or how you got with Rock, helping him in the community. But you already answered that question. You already answered your how you started, and
Yep.
all that. You answered all my questions.
Well,
before I
that
even
shows.
asked him.
Well, that shows I do listen to the podcast.
He does research, guys. He does too much research.
Pays attention.
He makes my
Yeah.
fucking brain hurt 'cause now I have a headache. What the fuck to ask him?
I was about to ask him how long was he gonna wait till he tells you that he already answered all your questions.
Well, in this case, I guess since you're already here, you can just stick with us till we do picks for NASCAR? Question mark. We're trying to have at least one of the
if you
guests
can do it for a minute, yeah,
because
we can,
because of the fact that
we'll let
yeah,
him do some predictions. That'll be
Party
fun.
and them are already big schlumping, so I kind of can't have them on tonight. So
Yeah, we got to have somebody doing the picks with us real quick. It
Yeah.
won't take too long. We'll roll through this.
yeah, we
I
just
do
have to
have
roll
some-
through.
I do
Yes,
have
yes,
some
no,
shout outs, but I can wait till the end.
Yeah,
for
no,
my shout outs.
You can do that right now. You can do whatever you want.
If you want to do it now, or you can do it at the end. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll
Go
do
for
it
it.
now. That way my brain quits
'Cause
working.
Okay, yeah.
'cause I know
While
the
it's still
end.
firing
I know
a few,
the
your
end.
rounds
We
there.
all do shout outs anyway, so
Yeah.
I have quite a few to do anyway.
Well, of course, Rock's like huge shout out. If I don't shout out Rock, then also Aiden
Rock,
Norman, because he's a new moderator. I'm gonna shout him out.
I've heard his name
Yes.
before. I feel like
Yeah.
I've raced with him. I just don't.
Yeah.
I know that name. I don't know the gamer tag to that name. I've heard it before though.
And I don't know his gamer tag either. I need to find out what it is. I want to shout out my 3 admins. Texan Joker 69.
He just won
better-
tonight.
Also, yes, right. He won tonight. Also known as Blake Higgins. That's his real name. Beach Hunter 200. Eric Abbott is his name, and then my 3rd admin is Mike Feltz, also known as Mike Feltz, because that's his name and his gamer tag. So that's how you do
Nice.
that. And then my next shout out is Ken Silik, who runs the Lightning series, and the logo that I sent you, our new logo for RDL, Ken actually designed that for me on a pinch, and I love the logo, but he designed that for me in a pinch when I needed to change the logo, the name, all the stuff, all the visual stuff for our league, and he helped with all that stuff, and he just was a godsend. So Ken, he runs the Lightning series, and also a shout out to Ken again. And Corey Price. Corey Price is the owner of the Lightning series. They gave me my start in leagues, so I'm shouting out to them for that. And Heathen, you shouting out you because
Wait, what?
I'm shouting out you because
Whoa.
you have supported my league with giving shout outs on your show and all the likes and stuff on the league stuff that I put out. So I mean, to me, that's notable.
I think I was the first person in that. It was me. You started and you invited me. I was actually the first member in there, other than yourself.
And
I also, Flash, you said that was my show. Fuck you.
It is yours. I told you that.
I know,
You
but
run
it's
this.
our show technically. But I just do everything.
But yeah, but you head
Behind
up.
the
I
scenes.
ain't gonna... Look, I
And I
broadcast
wanna-
3 nights a week. You get this one, like I said.
next, I feel like I'm on an award show or something, trying to thank people, but I'm almost done. Wayne and Mikey, Lone Wolf and Ely Fire from Wolfpack, they also supported us with likes and what different things behind the scenes since we become a league. So they've been really nice, and I've tried to also support their league with things they've needed as well. So we've kind of worked together on some stuff. Next is JP Justin Putzer. He's been
big dogs.
no, not that. I'm aware of big dogs too, but this is Justin Putzer. We call him JP, and he's just a really great friend, and has been a big support of not just the league, but been a big support personally for me with some stuff. And so next one, Ryan Dyer, Cybertruck series. Again, just like you, Heathen, he's supported the league by liking things, inviting me to the Cybertruck Series to race, which was just an awesome thing. So well, that was I had Sammy at the bottom, but we already talked about Sammy. So I have a ton more, but I would have to, these are the ones that I wrote down. If I missed
Yeah,
anybody,
he told me earlier, Flash. He's like I have people on a shout out. He's like, but if I shout out everybody, he's like, I'll take 4 hours by itself.
yes,
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
There's some. Well, it's just what I was telling you. I've been so fortunate. There's so many people that have supported us and have supported me, and so if I missed anybody out there that you've helped me or worked with me or done something to support us, sorry if I missed you, but I do appreciate everything that everyone in the community has done.
Well, I will
me.
say you have an excuse to forget people, by the way, because if you
Well,
look
I would say,
at your
what'd be really
clock,
cool
it
is
says
if
3:08 in the morning.
As if at some point we record you saying all those people, but like edit it down to like a really fast blurb,
Just fucking
like
speed it up.
With the medicine, like at the end of the medicine, like commercials or whatever.
Thank you.
It's like they call us. There you go.
Yeah, like those radio ads. Yeah.
Bro, Stanley's like, fuck you, Flash.
Hey, he's put in a few of my edits. He likes.
Yeah, but he's not doing that edit. I guarantee that, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
that's a
doing
little bit
that
more
fucking
difficult.
shit.
That's like, yeah, that is more of a level of like a fuck you, because it's like,
Bro, he does
did
your
my
Prices Right shit.
Yeah.
He does your Prices Right. He does the clap when we introduce you.
Yeah.
I was gonna make him do a fucking anime fucking girl moaning for your intro, but that's not appropriate.
Well, no, but he would love doing that.
I know,
like,
but it's not appropriate for a NASCAR podcast.
Well,
It's the
I mean,
podcast we run.
we do a
behind the
lot of
scenes.
these that are appropriate for a NASCAR podcast. This is a
fuck it.
NASCAR podcast
It's-
with the asterisk beside it.
It's called. It's for no filter for a reason. No one gives a hell what we do. I mean, obviously, Party does, but
Oh, he's laughing right now at this part. I'm sure.
probably. He always has fun time. I will say though, Flash. I don't know if you. I mean, you don't look at the page at all, but there's one person who always comments on every single podcast. By the way, all 10. This person has commented on every single one, saying that it's an amazing podcast and he loves what we're doing. You know that person is, Flash?
This one right here.
Yep.
I know. I see it.
I'll try.
Every single Sunday, because it comes out at 12, other than the last couple weeks ago, because my buddy here was like, oh yeah, because to be fair, it was his first time uploading for us, because my work schedule was so fucked now. I can't upload it myself. That now he has to upload it, and then he scheduled to upload for Monday at noon instead of Sunday at noon. So I had to go in while I was at work and fix it at like 12:30, and I think you actually messaged me. It's like, is there no podcast this week? Which is what made me be like, oh wait, what the fuck's going on? It should be out by now. It's like 12:30. Why is it not out? But yeah, as always, thank you for your support on this, the league. Well, not the league. Fuck the community. Everything you do.
Well, just supporting the community supports our league, so you were right on that.
Hey, my brain's fucking fried. Let me know.
Yeah, it's alright. It's always fried. It's just a little bit, like I said,
It's
a little
not.
more
It's
hard
not
boiled
this
tonight.
fried ever.
Yeah,
It's not even that
alright.
fried when I'm doing stuff. But Flash, you want to do an overview of the leagues this week? Well, of PSCS and Sierra this week?
Yeah, I can run through. We'll start with.
I can
Sierra
do
here and...
PSCS. Who the fuck won this week? I do. Yeah, dude.
Okay, I'll start with here. We'll recap for our Cup Series. We had Cowboy Nation picking up the win, and I know you're gonna say it. That car that he has picked up a couple wins in with that
Pink
black
Cooters
and pink
car.
Cooters. Yep.
lucky-
Beat
the
Chase
lucky
Dreamer
car.
and Jay Grant. That was our top three in that, and he had a great race. Tyler Cubs won both stages. I ended up running some trouble and finishing 5th, but he had a good run as well. So shout out to him. But yeah,
Speaking of
Cowboy got the
Cowboy,
win in the Cup Series.
We got him. He has 16 followers now on Twitch Flash. So guess
All
what
right.
that means.
You told him he was gonna break it tonight. So
Guess what that means.
we got our Fortnite and Call of Duty stream.
Zombie stream. Yep.
Yeah,
He
he's
promised
dreading
us.
the Fortnite part, I'm sure, but there we go.
Yeah. He's definitely dreading it, but it's
It's
what
gonna be
it
fun. I'm looking
is.
forward to it.
He can't back out of it now. He already promised us.
Yeah, he got to win this week, like I just said, so he should be happy about that. That brings us to Texas last night in the truck
My
series,
hardest
and,
win ever.
Yeah, you fall back and won that after being almost 2 laps down. Obviously, you beat Hasbass by half a second and Chase by a second and a half. You had to fight by Chase. You two had a hell of a battle there in the closing laps. He put on all the blocks he could and
20
just
times.
couldn't hold you off. We had Nixium winning stage 1 and ended up lagging out, and then Chevy Man won stage 2, finished 5th. So shout out to both of them. And of course, tonight we have a first-time winner in CRL.
Yes, sir.
ZZ
All 'cause
Zachary.
All because who was on the podcast a couple weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
Unless it was hashtag save the road courses, whatever. I forgot I titled it. He was on that podcast.
And check this out: our 2 stage winners finished in the back. Drake and Party both had the stage wins. They finished the last 2 on the track. So that's pretty interesting. But Zach got the call to get the win. He took 2 tires, while second place Chevy took 4.
Well, that's
one
you
race.
know
Gator finished 3rd.
the reason why Chevy took 4.
Oh yeah, I already know the reason for that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you it again. So
okay.
we were talking about math. Apparently, I think it was some about me not being able to add, do addition, subtraction, all that.
And you distracted
he
him.
pitted. Yeah, I distracted him. I told Zach before the race starts, like, you're winning this race. I was like, I don't give a fuck how you're doing it. You're winning this race. And I did not think that was gonna be the cause of the win. I thought it was gonna be because I pushed him to it. But I mean, he won because I somewhat made Chevy not look at his thing take 4 too. So, but
I know Zach is
yes.
ecstatic though. That locks him into the
Final 4.
round of 4 here, the final 4, winner take all, coming to ISM and
2 weeks.
Yep.
I do know though that PSCS's trucks, JR took the win.
Mhm.
We had a hell of a battle in stage 2. But it is what it is. He won. I finished behind him, so I'm still haven't finished worse than 3rd place at a truck race this year for round and halves. So. And then not last night, Wednesday night, ECS 25. We call him X because it's spelled out. Won in the Cup Series, holding off Turner. I think is what it was. I could be wrong. I don't even know.
Yeah, he had a great run at that for sure.
He was definitely like the fastest guy out there all night.
He's been fast this year.
I was in the wrong setup, so I was
well.
battling last place all night.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's like you when you spin out on pit road 20,000 times a week.
Yeah, except you didn't even mess up and you were that slow.
Yeah, I had perfect pit stops all night, but it's like, well, let's fuck the setup up.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, well, you know what time it is now? We get to talk about the week in NASCAR.
What happened in NASCAR? Oh,
yeah.
I do want to say something. The most about NASCAR part. The weirdest shit happened because Brad won the iRacing shit. Okay. Joey flipped in iRacing.
I
Brad
didn't know
won
that.
the Cup race, and Joey flipped in the actual Cup race. So.
What did the crash look like in iRacing though?
The exact same thing. Just obviously not as bad.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Then. I did not know that about the iRacing. I knew Brad won it, but.
Yeah, Logano flipped, and that's why the meme about how Auto Trader said they're never sponsoring Logano at Talladega ever again started. Because he flipped twice in 3 days, technically. One was in simulation and one was in real life.
Yeah, I would rather flip 100 times in the iRacing simulation than
Well,
actually
no,
do that.
no,
in
they
real
have
life.
theirs. Not when they have the rig and shit where it actually moves around. No, I would not.
Yeah, I guess, but that rig's not going to catch on fire. Well, most likely.
You never know. But then who the fuck won? I don't know who won Xfinity. Do you know who won, Sean? Xfinity?
Well,
Xfinity.
yeah, it was Jeb Burton.
Oh yeah, that's right. Colleague.
Oh, okay,
I was
yeah.
right. I
Well,
picked
they called the race though, but yes.
I picked colleague winning.
Yes. Let me get you a lineup on that. I'm looking at
You
it
know,
right
you know who you picked,
now.
Flash? Daniel Hemrick.
I
As you
know.
always do. I would fucking win in. Okay, he's not Ty Gibbs, dog. Ty Gibbs is too fucking good.
But yeah, Burton won. With the
I know that race
old
got
race
called.
there.
And then Brad, as I said earlier, Brad won the cup race. Again, Matty D, so fucking close again. He's
Yes.
gonna win soon. Like, he's gonna win. I can feel it. He's winning at some point this year.
I feel like that,
Maybe
too.
he's winning at Daytona on August 28th. He's always fast plate tracks. She's just bad luck. I do believe he will get a win this year, though.
So, are you gonna, when we do predictions here in a second, are you gonna be putting him in your prediction for
Fuck no.
this weekend?
Yeah, fuck no. We're at Kansas.
Okay.
Fuck that.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
But yeah,
I
guess we move
I
on
want
to
to say
predictions.
about because NASCAR they run the out. I mean, they're on the outside only. But obviously, I'd pick Larson. But the fact that it's not real life. I mean, it's real life, and they go on the bottom. You know, I can't pick Larson. But we start with trucks though first. John, you know how this works.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We pick a driver and we pick a dark horse driver for both. We're not gonna pick leagues tonight as much as I want to. We've been doing this podcast for damn near 2 hours tonight, and it's 3:30 right now. Our
Well,
time down
and I
here.
actually think at least for, I mean, we can do it next week if you want, but I really feel like for the
next week's
leagues
the
coming
championship
up,
week.
yeah, I don't think we should for the next couple weeks. We can figure that out, but because I feel like it does mess with their heads if they're watching it back that we picked them
That's the
for,
good
our
thing.
league guys.
Chevy.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it when it comes down to the championship. I mean, you're involved in winning it, and I think we should stay away from the league predictions.
You
we can do-
literally picked me the last 2 weeks at Texas, and I've delivered.
Yes, but I think when it comes down to the last couple weeks, I think we need to let it all run out and don't add any extra good or bad juju, as they say, to it, and let it go.
That's
and,
okay.
we'll
I'm
pick our,
you know
real
damn
life.
well in that CRL chat, I'm gonna say good win Chevy every single race.
Well, that's on you, but I'm just saying, like, making the predictions here, I think we should just go with it and
All right, I'm fine with that.
make these.
It's not
real
your
life
show,
predictions.
but okay.
But also, I'm not gonna enhance your chances doing a championship. That would be tampering. So, all right.
Hey, now.
So we will make our real life
Fosh,
predictions.
you go first for trucks.
Okay, for trucks, we got
I
obviously
swear, if you
Kansas.
pick my drive and smack you in the fucking head. We're meeting
I
up
wanna
soon.
say
I
one-
will smack you.
Hey, I want to say, are we any of us allowed to pick Kyle Busch? Or are we gonna make that?
No, fuck that. Fuck that bitch. No.
I feel like that's just a given, like with him. So all right, so
No.
I'm gonna go. Just for the hell of it, I'll go with Chandler Smith.
Thank God you didn't pick my driver. Then Sean, who you picking?
I'm
Still
gonna
pick
go
my
Ben.
driver.
I'm gonna go Ben Rhodes.
He's been picked every
There you
single
go.
week. Why you
I
picking?
didn't pick yours, did I?
No. Fuck Benreds. No.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
Um,
Ben Rhodes
It's,
got
it's
2
just
wins
it's just
start
a
of the season.
guess. It's not
Yeah,
good,
he has
so-
done shit since.
How many races have they ran since? Not that
Yeah,
much.
no, it's
Like
fine.
5.
It's time.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I'm going with Sheldon Creed. I feel like he's gonna turn his season back around.
I thought when you
He's
said
always
your
fast
pick, I
at
thought you were gonna
Kansas.
pick John Hunter, but okay, Sheldon Creed.
Fuck. Well, dark horses.
Oh yeah, Dark Horse for trucks.
If I already know who I'm picking, I pick her. Oh damn it! I already split it. Well,
that's fine. I was gonna pick. I'm picking Tyler Ankrum for the Dark Horse.
Bro, did you see his? Speaking of Tyler Ankrum, his fucking throwback car is the Ricky Bobby's Wonder Bread car.
Is it for?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'll send you it right now, actually.
Well, you already said who you're picking then for your Dark Horse, right?
Nah, I just said yeah, always.
You said her. I know you're not talking about Jessica Cobb, so.
Who's that? She's old. I'm kidding. Old people, I'm sorry. Don't be offended by what I say.
Hey, she almost got to run Talladega.
Yeah, until she fucking didn't. Quinn Hoof got allowed, but she didn't.
Yeah.
Check your phone flash. I sent it to you.
My reaction to the paint scheme here.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm gonna send it to you too, Sean. Unless you haven't seen it yet.
No,
And I want your raw reaction. This car, this is gonna be one of the best cars, like one of the best. I think the best truck probably.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And then the one car.
Wait, hold on. What's your Sean? What's your dark horse pick for
trucks?
Kansas here. Trucks. Yeah. Someone that.
I believe Self. I think I'll go with Self.
Austin, yeah.
Yeah, Austin Self. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been close a lot on that too. So
Yeah.
good pick. Now
Yeah, that was actually better than I thought it was gonna be. Cup. Sean, you can go first, because just so you don't pick your. I know who fucking Flash you're gonna pick. So
for the Bushy McBush race 400.
Bro, speaking of that, you know who actually somebody who is in PSCS actually won the entry for that, by the way.
They submitted that?
Goose. Yeah, Goosey.
He submitted that?
Yeah.
Because everybody voted on it, so he was the one who submitted it?
Yeah. He sent it in the chat like the day that it was confirmed. He sent a picture to the PSCS chat about it and was like, "Well, boys, we won." Whatever. And I was like, "Well, shit."
I look back at that. That's awesome. I know it got the most votes everybody's talking about on Twitter. Obviously, that would be the one everybody would pick, but
the tweeter.
But yeah, what is
I'm not a fan, but I'm doing it just because I always pick. I'm gonna go with Austin Dillon in the 3, just because I don't ever go against the 3. But it's not a great pick, but that's who I'm going with.
It's actually a good. He's don't quote me on it, but I think he has a decent record at Kansas. If I look back, I know he's.
I would pick him next week, honestly, before I pick him at Kansas.
Yeah, but I mean, he
has a decent record. It's not, like a Harvick or Logano, but it's a decent record. He's average I think it's top 15.
Yeah, I think it's like 13 point something. So it's, I don't know. I had to look at it again.
Great, but I mean, it's not the worst either. It's not Quinn Hoof.
No, it's better than a lot of people there though, and it's pretty consistent.
And the dark horse pick is Cole Custer.
Nice, yeah.
The way Stuart Haas has been going this year, I think Harvick would be a dark horse pick this year because of the way Stuart Haas has been performing all year.
Yeah.
Flash, who do you got?
Well, since I want him to win, I'm not going to pick Logano because last time I didn't pick him, he won. That was at Bristol Dirt. So instead, for my main, I am going to pick.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Northeast Texas Storm Chasers is a small group made up of 5 chasers throughout the Northeast Texas region. Cover any and all severe weather events that affect their area, no matter if they are out in the field or behind a phone on the couch. You can guarantee that this group keep you and your family safe and prepared for all modes of severe weather. For more info and or questions, please visit their Facebook page, Northeast Texas Storm Changers, and be sure to click that like button. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
Oh man.
Stanley, this part where Flash is just thinking, just like the dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
dun,
do that. That's
dun.
awesome. I guess I'll go with Hamlin.
Tyler and Quinn.
Hamlin, and then for the dark horse, I will go with Tyler Reddick.
Okay, just because he can ride the wall doesn't mean shit.
Well, you're gonna pick Larson, so what?
No, I'm not. I was going to.
Okay.
But I'm not. Only because he has the best record this year in mile and a halves. Like he won. Well, he finished third at Homestead or fourth Homestead. I don't remember which one, honestly. Second at Atlanta, first at Vegas, and then this is the fourth mile and a half this year. So he has an average finish of inside top 5. So he's gonna be there at the end. Barson.
Okay, so not surprised
And
there.
then dark horse Logano, just to piss you off.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's
Because
fine.
my bad.
I said me not
Hopefully-
picking that.
Hey,
You do.
listen. If my bad juju works on Chevy, it better work on fucking Logano.
No, I hope you get your dark horse pick correct.
Hey, no one's got the dark horse pick ever correct. I mean, I did last week with Xfinity. I picked colleague, but
Yep, 2 in a row. Come on.
Flash takeover. I'm trying to think what I want to say now. Fuck.
Sentences, they're hard to put together.
No shit.
Yeah, yes. At this time of the night. Or
Yeah.
morning.
Well, I guess on that note, oh, by the way, Brett Keselowski is sponsored by the 5G Verizon Ford this weekend. I just noticed that.
Oh,
on the
really?
J-Ski while I'm looking at it.
Oh,
So he's gonna have some Wi-Fi. Hopefully, he doesn't tweet again and get in trouble like he did years ago.
Hey, that was when Mom Toya blew the jet dryer though.
I remember that. That was crazy. All right, I'm gonna stop the rambling. We'll
Well, that's our
Close this
job
one out.
to ramble.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's
Watch
like I
time,
said, the
dog.
podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least we know one person watched the entire way through. That man is, well, 2 people. Party and this man right here.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I
I
watch
mean,
about
I
3
mean,
seconds every week.
yeah,
Sound of my
I
own
watched
voice,
like
so.
15 minutes of it, so we get like the view, whatever. But I'm like, yeah, I can't listen to myself talk, so fuck that.
I put it on
Yeah,
the
that
background.
is weird. That is
I feel
weird.
bad for Stanley though. Stanley has to fucking listen to my ass for fucking the unedited part.
Well, he
like
has to listen
the
to it anyway.
Raw
so
stuff.
It's like,
Oh yeah,
doesn't
he has to
really
listen to
matter.
it twice.
Yeah.
But either way, as always, back of the outro song is my buddy CTC Kwani, aka Jaquan. Song's Lonely, as always. Shout out to Party for letting us do this. Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
Storm and Sean for being on the night. Sorry, brain farted. You know, I'm
Yeah, thank you,
talking right
Storm.
now.
Thank you, Sean. This has been another great podcast.
And thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
for having me. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. Next week should be Chevy and Party, I believe.
Ooh.
Which is the year wrap up, whatever, for CRL. I could be wrong, but I think. And then we're having DB on again here very soon because he has an
shout
announcement.
out one thing before we close this. It's our tryouts coming up, and this is a perfect time to shout it out so everybody listening to the end of the podcast can get to know that. Heathen, if you want to recap the dates.
I have
also
no
them.
clue on what the dates are. My brain's
the-
fried.
Okay, I believe as long as they haven't changed them, they're May 26th and June 2nd. We are doing tryouts, which will be open to anyone that wants to get a tryout and get a feel for the league. And you can find more info, obviously, with us here or on our
Just message me on Xbox or Facebook.
Yeah, message CCN Heathen on
Of the
Xbox
398.
or go to our Facebook page. And we're looking
Well,
for that.
if you search
and-
up CCDN on Xbox, you'll find like 50 of us. But Heathen is me.
Yes. Heathen with the 3 instead of the E.
Sir.
Yes.
And
For other reasons other than one.
yes. But yeah, those trials, like I said, as long as the dates remain the same, it should be May 26th and June 2nd.
Thank you to Quack, though, obviously,
yeah,
for
as
listening to our
always,
bullshit
thanks
for
to our
fucking
editor,
40
Quack.
hours a week.
Yeah, something like that.
Who I'm forgetting people. Marty, obviously. You cannot go out thanking him. Flash, obviously you for dealing with my fucking bullshit. Because without you, keep me on track for the most part. Party would have said fuck you. But
I try.
yeah, until you both ramble on for like 4 hours.
Oh yeah, I can do it just as much as you can.
But thank you to our sponsors always. I know Stanley will put an ad read in beginning and here probably. Well, before the outro is played, he'll probably put it on after the picks. He always puts one on. So shout out to them. Jaquan, I said that already. Stanley said that already. CRL PSCS, obviously. But yeah, as always, I've been here to see them. Alongside 4 flashes, minus 1 flash.
Yeah, one's left the building. There's just 3 left. So you gotta deal with them.
So, there was a 4 flashes though. He left, so now it's 3 flashes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Until next time, this has been episode 11 of the CRL Podcast coming to you from PodcastVille USA. And I'll see y'all next week, baby.
But I've been feeling lonely. I feel nobody knows me. I swear my heart is frozen. I swear God told me going, so I keep on going. And you can't hang around me if you don't get no chatter, cause I've been wrestling that only stack racks up. I'ma cop some Versace, Whopper, or Sacabana.